Hey, what's up YouTube? It's One Way Up here, back with another video. And in front of you I do have a very unique car for you guys today. This is the 2012 Nissan GTR Black Edition. So this is a limited edition model which came for the Nissan GTR in 2012. It adds a little bit extra horsepower, has some weight savings and some external features that separate it from the original GTR. So the Nissan Skyline has been around for a very long time, since the 80s, and this is the latest generation, which is the R35 model. Now the R35 model has been refreshed since this current one that you're looking at right now, but it was also refreshed in 2012 for the first time and then later on. So this is the 2012 refresh for it. As you can see, they did change a little bit of the front bumper from the previous design, but overall you can tell a Nissan GTR R35 from just looking at it. It's a very unique looking car. Part of the midnight package is these nice blacked out rims. The car also has very big brake calipers. I like the orange, which how it contrasts with the black colors. You got the GTR badge on the side with the vents, which do work and are functional. So moving over to the rear side profile of the vehicle, you have those 4 circular lights, which are known for Nissan Skylines, has been around forever, and these nice big quad exhausts. It's very nice from the back. Of course, you gotta have your spoiler on it with a rear brake light. I'm just giving you guys another angle of the car. So the Nissan GTR is a performance car, definitely. This car is unique and special because when it came out, it was competing with high-end supercars like Lamborghini and Ferrari for the price tag of half of what you would have to pay for those higher-end supercars. But the performance on this, very up to par with those vehicles. And Nissan had done a great job with the engineering of this car. As you can see in the front grille, you have the GTR badge, looking very nice. In the hood, you have these couple inserts. Now moving over to the door handle, I like how it's flush with the door panel. So in order to open the door handle, you have to push it just like on a Tesla, and it'll pop out, and then you pull the handle. So giving you guys a look at the inside of the car. On this GTR Black Edition, you do have these Recaro racing seats, which are very comfortable and supportive. And stepping into the car, giving you guys a look at the interior. Then I'm going to pop the hood. And show you what's underneath. Okay, so underneath the hood of the GTR, we have a 3.8 liter twin turbo V6. In the previous Skyline years, it was an inline 6, but they've upgraded it to a V6 for the R35, which helped it compete with the higher end supercars. This one puts out about 540 horsepower. Don't remember the torque numbers, but it should be around 418. This car can go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, which is very impressive. It is fixed with a 6-speed DCT transmission, and these engines were hand built by an engineer and also stamped like you would see on some of the AMG 63 and 65 engines. But this is a very nice looking engine bay. I like how they didn't put a big plastic covering like a lot of manufacturers are doing nowadays. Okay, so stepping back into the car. Go ahead and shut the door. You have a nice grab handle here to close the door. I like how it's leather wrapped. Starting off with the materials of the door, it's pretty much soft touch all throughout the door. The handle to open the door is right here, which is a little bit different, but it keeps it with a nice clean look. I do love how the bottom part of the door, it has a nice carpet material. You have a little pouch to put some items. You don't get that much space as in a larger vehicle, but this car is engineered and geared towards performance. You have a nice Bose system throughout this vehicle with Bose badging here right behind the shifter with this carbon fiber material right here on the side and in the back as well. So now moving over to the steering wheel. You have a GTR design right on the steering wheel. Looks pretty nice. It's not a flat bottom, but the steering wheel is very comfortable. Right behind the steering wheel, you do have a couple paddle shifters. I do love how these paddle shifters are mounted to the steering column. So as you turn the steering wheel, it'll stay in the same position. So let me turn the car on and show you how that looks. So you put your foot on the brake, push the start button right here. Car sounds very nice. So on the steering wheel, have some cruise control, volume controls, pretty straightforward. You have automatic lights. This is to adjust your mirrors. I do like that the car has automatic folding mirrors as well. So if you're in a parking lot, you can fold your mirrors so people don't hit you. But I prefer to park much further away from the stores and things like that, so there's no cars to the side, especially when you're driving a nice car. Moving over to the dash, soft touch materials throughout the top of it. Now looking at the gauge cluster, it's an analog gauge cluster. As you shift to reverse and drive, where it says P will change based on what gear or what driving position you're in. So if I change it to reverse, change it to R, automatic, and back into park. Pretty straightforward looking gauge cluster. I like how the car feels very analog in some aspects. And this is giving you guys a look at the steering. These paddle shifters are very big, which makes it easy for you to grab as you're turning the steering wheel and changing gears. Moving over to the screen. Screen is not as big as you would see in cars nowadays, but I do like how it does have this feature, which was designed by some of the makers of Gran Turismo, which you can customize these different displays to see different levels about the engine, the oil, acceleration, just giving you a gauge cluster as to how the car is performing as you're driving in real time, which is very nice and is very customizable. You can also switch over to different parts of the display, so it does have navigation, has some general settings that you would find on most cars, like tire pressure, maintenance, all that stuff. And you also have Bluetooth. Now, this is a 2012 car, so it doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but I have no issues with that. When I drive this car, I just want to be in tune with the experience, and I do feel that without having that option. So you do have CD changer in here. These are the climate controls. It does have dual zone climate controls. Pretty simple and straightforward, like in most cars. Now moving down underneath, these are the driving settings. So this is for the transmission and how you want the gears to shift. You have it 3 different modes for each of these settings. So this is for the transmission, this is for the suspension, and this is for the traction control. When you push it up on R, you hold it for about a second and you see the R light up. That is in pretty much its track setting in a sense. This is the most aggressive and fast focus setting for all these controls. So your suspension would stiffen up if you put it in R mode as well. You also have a standard mode by pushing it down, and then you can push it all the way down into comfort mode. Now this car does have a very stiff suspension, one of the stiffest suspensions in cars I've ever driven, but it is geared towards performance, and this car is very fast with that 0 to 60 of under 3 seconds. I will sacrifice comfort for that performance. Moving over to the gear selector, just push down on it and shift. This whole area is hard touch plastic. I would have expected them to at least line it with a soft material, but I didn't design the car, so I don't know what their reasoning is. You do have two cup holders right here, which you can close up. Moving over to the center armrest. It's a little bit flimsy, but this is a 10-year-old car, 10-plus-year-old car, so don't know how it felt brand new. But you also have a little bit of storage space, not too much in here, which you wouldn't expect. It is a two-door car geared towards performance. You do have auto-dimming rear view mirrors, very helpful at night. Sunglass holders. Giving you guys a look at the passenger side. This car does have nice color contrast. Excuse me. I do like the red and the black. How it goes around the shifter as well. Now, I'm not even going to show you guys the back seat or try to sit in it, but as you can see, I have a basketball in there and it's taking up about 30% of the seat, and the passenger seat is pushed all the way back. There's barely any leg room. No point in using the back seat, but you do have a cup holder if you do choose to put a person back there, and some speakers in the back. So the way this car drives, it feels stiff, but it feels very comfortable. It feels like a driver's car. As you change from park to reverse to drive and you go through the gears, this car does make a lot of mechanical sounds, which I do like very much. It puts me in tune with the car. It feels like it's a very well engineered vehicle, and I just like to drive this and just hear the way it sounds, hear the way the gears change and all that. It just makes for a great driving experience. So opening the door and stepping back out. So yeah, so this Nissan GTR R35 is definitely an iconic car by Japan. It's gonna be an iconic car for years to come. Definitely gonna miss this car when they kill it off eventually, but you can really get these for not too bad of a price tag, and for the performance you get, it's definitely worth it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.